order your server, and we will be shipping these next month. So we're very close to shipping you your Xserve. Now, again, let's run through what our customers asked for. Dedicated server platform. We're giving them a great one, we think. Certainly rack mounted. Storage flexibility with 480 gigabytes. You can service it in seconds with intrusion alerts and hardware monitoring. And remote management. For remote management, I'm going to go back to our agenda here. We're going to go to the second topic on our agenda, the software and remote management. And I'm going to turn it over to Phil Schiller. But before I do, I forgot to do one thing, which I want to do, which is just pull one of these guys out so you can see how easy this is. That's all there is to it, to get to every part in the server. So take a look at one of these after the presentation and see for yourself how easy it is. Phil?
Thanks, Steve. Well, good morning, everyone. What's left to say? That is an amazing amount of cool technology. But what's left to talk about is the software. We have built Xserve because our customers have asked for it, and because Mac OS X Server, with its Unix underpinning, was crying out for some great hardware to run on. With this great operating system now, and customers have said, I want to run Mac OS X Server on some dedicated server hardware. And all of our software sales for servers have switched over in the last year to being exclusively all Mac OS X Server. So the server has already transitioned in the last year to being entirely Mac OS X based. That already happened over the last 12 months. And the reason it happened, first and foremost, of course, is, as you know, it's Unix based. And we've got this incredible Unix underpinning in a server. I don't think we'd be doing this if it was a Mac OS 7 or 8 or even 9 server. With Mac OS 10 and the Unix underpinning, now there are a lot of enterprises, a lot of customers who find this fits into their existing plans for their enterprise network. It's not something different. It's exactly the kinds of things they want to deploy inside their enterprises. A lot of the things you know that Mac OS 10 has brought us on the desktop mean the same and even more in a server. So, for example, having protected memory and multitasking and multi-threading matter even more on a server, which you want to keep up and running all the time. You want great symmetric multiprocessing in a dual processor server with the kinds of applications, the databases, and WebObjects applications you're going to run on it. You certainly want state-of-the-art networking that fits in with the kind of networking you deploy and all the technology you have in the enterprise. And you want really important server software add-ons like great RAID support. And all these things are in Mac OS X, and as a server, it means even more. Now, what do people do with servers? So, you know, the number one reason companies buy servers today, first and foremost, file and print services. And we have great file and print services built into Mac OS X Server. If you want to serve up files and printing for your Mac clients, of course, we offer the best solution for that. But a lot of customers are starting to realize we also have great Windows client support built into Mac OS X Server. You can turn on a Mac OS X server to be a Windows server, and your clients don't even know it's not a Windows server. It's the Mac OS X server, now can be an Xserve providing that capability. Of course, since it's Unix, we have great support for Unix and Linux clients as well. And if you have anyone coming in for the internet, of course, we have all the latest standards to be a great file server and print server for the internet. And all of this works with standard Mac and Windows and Unix print services. Of course, the other reason people buy servers is to be a great internet for intra or internet solutions, as well as a web server. Again, the Unix underpinning of Mac OS X makes these products great internet servers. Of course, for a web server, you've heard us talk about this, we now are standardized on Apache, the most popular web server on the internet. And we want to run a great version on Mac OS X, and now you can build racks of Apache web server using Mac OS X and Xserve. Of course, streaming is growing in popularity. We're seeing our education accounts, ISP accounts growing more and more use of streaming media, and QuickTime streaming is built in and completely included. As Steve talked about, as we move to QuickTime 6, we have the only complete end-to-end MPEG-4 streaming solution, and it's built right in. There's nothing else you need to get to use it on an Xserve. WebObjects has incredibly powerful technology for building web-driven applications. Our own Apple Store, which does tremendous amount of business, billions of dollars a year, run on web objects that run on rack-mounted servers from Apple. Of course, mail, every enterprise runs mail services, and we can deliver industry-standard mail with all the key formats that matter for both remote and local managed mail services. For all the other technologies, there's so many, I could spend an hour just going into them, but for example, WebDAV, industry-standard internet-based file services, SSL for security, web caching, all built in with Unix standards in Mac OS X Server. You probably also want a server to provide network services throughout your organization. Again, the Unix underpinnings here give the best standard BSD networking services. So if you want to be a firewall, we have an IP firewall built right into Xserve. If you want to be a DHCP server or a DNS server or an SLP server, all of that's built in with industry standard tools. And it is Unix at its core, but it is also Mac ease of use. You'll see in a minute how easy this is. No one else delivers that combination of real Unix tools for your enterprise and simple software solutions to manage and set it up. People are also building in servers to manage the workgroups themselves. What about all these clients in the network? We're starting to move into a world of directory managed clients, and we have the broadest base support, and are moving forward even further with our LDAP integration. But starting today, you can use an Xserve to manage all your Mac 7 and 8 clients with Mac Manager, your Mac OS X clients with NetInfo. You can connect to LDAP directories, and you have a simple, secure server administration environment to manage all of that. So that's all things in Mac OS X Server and how they make a lot of sense on Xserve, and it's going to open up a number of great applications and deployments of Xserves. But what have we done specifically, since at Apple we make the hardware and the software, and very few companies have that kind of capability. Certainly nobody in the range of this powerful entry-level servers. Since we make both, what did we do to take advantage of that and advance this even more? Well, we've put together a whole list of things we've